coming at you guys with a voiceover today. I'm really trying to master all portions of this content creator stuff, so I really appreciate you guys sticking with me and all the support and love that I've been getting from you guys along this journey. So into this hamstring workout, it's an iso lateral kneeling leg curl. I really love this machine. It's plate loaded, feels really smooth, and I just get a really good connection on it. So before I get into my main compound movement, I really like to get an isolation movement in just to connect to the muscle, get my mind muscle connection down. And so here's a different angle for you guys, but always full range of motion. I don't really rest in between sets because your other leg is just sitting there the entire time. So 8 to 15 reps. It's fast twitch muscle fiber, the hamstring is, so about 8 to 15 is pretty good. Nice strong contraction, slow, letting that tension build as you go through the full stretch, and then hold at the top. Really spend time in both extremes of the movement. So in that fully contracted part, give it a good hold. In that fully stretch, let it go all the way down and keep that tempo the same. Don't let it increase and go faster as you get tired. Keep it the same. Fight that as hard as you can, and that'll lead you to the best results possible. Full ROM always. Full ROM team. Let me get on. I'm working. I'm trying to get there. So 2 sets of this before we move on into Romanian Deadlift, which is my main hamstring movement that I've been progressing. It feels the best. I'm working on mobility more and more, so it's getting close to where I'm at touching the ground, but got a tight lower back and working on some different muscles that are too tight. So just keeping that same tempo, never cheating, using the muscle that we're trying to target. There's no point in using any other muscles. We're not trying to target them right now. So always on the hamstrings, mind muscle connection always there. Hold all the way down and repeat. It's boring stuff, but you got to push yourself to limits and keeping it as accurate as possible. I really like what AJ Morris says. If you follow him, if you don't, go check him out. He's a very intelligent man, and I aspire to be like him. So I'm trying to keep all my sets accurate and reps all the same. So as we go into Romanian Deadlift, this was my top set of 205, sipping on the Vivo Life amino acids and creatine in that bottle right there. So yeah, 205. This is probably about where my max is right now. I'm probably getting about 7 reps, 8 reps. Slow down, hips back, keeping that back as straight as possible. My hamstrings are very tight, so this is as far as I can go, but huge tension buildup in the hamstrings, insane stretch at the bottom. I know it doesn't look like I'm going down that far, but when that mind muscle connection's there and they're already pumped up, that stretch is intense. So at the bottom, keeping spine neutral, trying to keep that chest up. I wish my head would stay up a little longer, but it's okay. Sometimes you gotta look at the feet, see how they're going, but trying to keep as much pressure in all parts of my foot as possible. My toes come up sometimes, but I'm just trying to keep my hips back as far as possible, and sometimes it puts too much pressure in the heel. But so we went down to 185 for the back off, and I think I got around 10 or 11. So I always try and do a top set and then a back off set just to get the most out of that first set possible, and if I can stay at that same weight and stay in the rep target, then I will. If not, I'll back off to stay in the rep target that I'm hitting. I'm trying to go from 6 to 12 on this, so this is my heavy movement with the most possible. And then after that, I went to do a dumbbell or a kettlebell lunge. I switch this up. So I put in this mesocycle, I'm doing lying leg curl superset with this. So I just do it on the machine, but last meso I was just using a bench over in this functional area training section. So I just grabbed a kettlebell. Wasn't very stable on this, but as time comes, we'll keep progressing it and build up those stabilizers possible. Just really trying to pump out as much blood into the legs as I can. Trying to keep the ankle stable as possible and keep the kinetic chain in line with itself, keeping that knee over that like second and third toe. I'm trying to keep the hips in line. See, I'm not in the right position, but we get in there and pump out some reps. As we keep going, this will get more tempo driven and done in the way that I like it, but as we're starting out, getting back into split lunges, I hadn't really done them in a couple mesos, so just get back in, getting those stabilizers again, and this was my finisher. So right after that, I did 2 sets with the kettlebell, and then I didn't really want to stabilize anymore, so I just pumped out as many body weight as I could for the RIR target. I believe it was 1 today on this one, but getting as much blood in those legs as possible, tapping, keep it where I want it. That's a really good tip if you guys haven't done that before, especially for something that you don't connect well with. Tapping it is just going to notify the central nervous system that that's exactly where you want it. You want to keep it right there. It just helps focus more in that area to recruit more muscle fibers. I really like using that. I started with biceps. I switched to more things like quads, calves. Can't really do it on triceps, but especially lats. I really like tapping that lat on like my first movement. So as we pump out the rest of these, we're gonna get into some posing. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to know any more about hamstring training. Like it up, share. I'll see you guys in this next one. Lots of posing.